Okay, let's check. Audio seems to be okay. Stream seems to be okay. CPU seems to be okay. What did I forget? Probably something. Hi Mel, nice to see you. It's going to be a short episode today, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in the start of the show. I'm just going to show quickly something Ken Benedict asked, and then do a quick studio tour. And if there is some time left, I'm going to show you vMix UTC, which I'm normally going to show you next week. Unfortunately, I have a very important meeting at, well, 9 o'clock Belgium time, so in a little bit more than 1 hour. So I really have to leave at 22:09. Rather a busy day today again at work. It's still amazes me how much can go wrong when you start with audiovisual. But we did something nice. One of our departments, they had a kind of a cube, and it's in a, I don't know the English word, the exact English word. It's mousse, and inside the cube is a microphone, and it is meant to well, when you have an event and you want to have some fun, you can throw the cube in the audience, and then the audience can take the cube and they can speak into it. And it was the quality was amazing, but we had a lot of problems connecting it, so I managed to connect it with 2 or 3 different cables. But it's going to be a lot of fun seeing people throw a cube into the public. I'll try it, maybe if it's possible. I don't know if I can do it, that I make a small movie about it. Oh, video lost. Mel, my stream seems to be okay. Okay, thanks Mel. So that was it a little bit for today. Things can change, but the idea is that I'm going to do 2 more shows before taking a break in July, because as you know, Streamfest is well, I'll be a little bit more than a month away, and there is so much work to do on the website and all other things that I think I'm going to take a break in July, but more about that in 2 weeks. So you probably are going to ask yourself, hey Rudy, what's with your background and stuff? But it's deliberately. This is my studio, so I'm going to do a studio tour. You're going to see how it looks in real life, without a fancy background and all the lights. I have but I'm going to show it to you later. One of my LED lights is now on, and I have just a smaller light that's lighting the background, not the light I'm using normally. I have a C920 as an overhead for my keyboard because I want to show you something with my keyboard. I have my regular camera, I have my big production 17-inch laptop, and I have my 15-inch without vMix. But a little bit more about that in a few minutes. And then the regular stuff like my mixing board and stuff like that. Okay, so far only Merle. A third person is coming in. If I'm not wrong, hi John, evening John. Well, as you have probably seen after yesterday, the beard is gone. Mixed feelings. I liked it, but it started to itch, and some people still, oh, really, we don't know if it's something for you. So yesterday, no, the day before yesterday evening, I started to say, okay, I'm doing this away. I said, it's okay. Then I had a ring beard. I said, that's nice. But I finally decided, gone with the beard. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's not going as fast as I want to, so I'm not the most, well, it has to go fast for me. Yeah, John. But what I really liked, because I started to look up something about beards, there is some special shampoo and and something to make it nice. There's a whole bunch of products you can buy if you have a decent beard, but yeah. This is me. Well, for Streamfest, I'll just let grow a small ring beard, so I can pretend that I have a beard. Okido. 2 minutes before the start of the show. Yes, John, I'm going to mention it when I start the show, but it's... Yeah, sorry for you, but I have an important meeting at 9 o'clock Belgium time. So I have to leave at the last 8:40, 1:45. So that's why I decided at the last moment, because I wasn't sure that I was going to do a show, but at the last moment said, okay, let me do the show, let me answer a question I got from a viewer, and then do a quick studio tour. And if I have 5 or 10 minutes to spare, I want to show you something about vMix UTC, which I'm going to demonstrate next week. So it's going to be a quick one without a post show. And when it's time, I'm just going to say thank you and bye-bye. Okay, well, the clock is ticking. The first time I put a production clock. So let's see how everything is going to work. Okay, so we have Mel and John, 3 people, that's not much. Well, John can have a refund, no problem. Okay, it's almost 8 o'clock. Let's start the show, shall we? This show is sponsored by Xkeys, the company that knows how to push a button. Welcome everyone in this rather special episode as usual, episode number 17 already. I'm your host Rudy, and I have something special before I start the show, and let's hope it works now as normal. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe by clicking on the red button, and if you want to get notified when I'm live, just click the bell. Thank you very much. So episode 17 today, and you're probably going to ask, hi Kenny, welcome. What's wrong? Because no fancy background, and that's yes, I'm going to do a quick studio tour today. As I told in pre-show, unfortunately I have a rather important meeting at 9 o'clock, so I have to leave at the last quarter to 9. So that was I want to do a studio tour. But before I do the studio tour, well, I want to answer a viewer question and give you some more information about other stuff. And the first thing I want to share with you is that last week I posted on the vMix training forum a question if they have any questions for me for future shows. And yeah, that I wasn't happy with all the episodes I made so far. And what happened was, after posting that question in the vMix training group, was that I had 13 extra subscribers. So I am now at 85 subscribers. So 15 to go to my big goal of 100 subscribers, and I have more or less 1700 views. So it was rather strange to see that there were still people who didn't know there was a show about vMix and live streaming. So well, some room of improvement over there. Second thing is, as you probably know, I am using two laptops. My production laptop, and I'm going to show you a 17-inch one with a GTX 1070, and my newer 15-inch with a 1050 Ti. And I downloaded demo version of vMix, and you can already guess what happened. Yesterday my demo period came to an end, so I don't have vMix anymore on my smaller laptop, and I'm still saving to buy the $350 version. But yeah, so everything is coming from the 17-inch laptop, and so you're going to see the infinity effect again. On the 17-inch laptop, I have installed the very latest version of vMix, because yesterday vMix came out with 21.45. I skipped the zeros. Not that much of improvements. The first one is that they fixed an issue with set audio fade when it was used with a list input. The CPU usage accuracy is improved, and the CPU GPU warnings are now disabled by default, because apparently some people complained that they were very anxious when they saw, oh, there is a problem with the with my CPU or GPU, or if there were clients, and so yeah, can your laptop cope with that? And by default it's off, but let me show you where it is. So when you go to in the upper right corner, you have settings, and when you click on settings, then you have performance, and here you see that there is now an option show GPU, CPU alerts. By default, it's unticked. Well, I hope nothing wrong happens. I'm going to tick show GPU, CPU alerts, and I click OK. You're not restart vMix to apply changes. I'm going to say no. So this was dangerous. And now if there is a CPU or GPU problem, vMix is going to show it to me. But by default, it's unticked. Okay. This was it for the announcements. The first thing for the show is after I posted my question in the vMix training forum, Ken Benedict asked if I could give some more information about the shortcuts I was using on the keyboard with the producer starter kit to zoom in, to zoom out, and to pan left and right. And that is what I'm going to show today. I hope it's going to show well because I can't show it from my second laptop. So I'm going to share my screen again. And here with the I didn't install the starter kit, but I did the two buttons, plus and minus to zoom in, and arrow left, arrow right to pan. So how it's working is it's on mouse over. So I'm now, and you can't see it, but I'm here, I'm hovering over my first input. And when let me put this one as an overlay. So you see here, the first four keys are to pan. So if I pan to the left, I have to mouse over again to input number one. If I go to the left, you see here, left, right. But these are very small increments. For the zoom, we were using the plus and minus key, but you're going to see if I push here now on the plus key to zoom, it's immediately a big zoom. The minus key, wow, it's really, these are big increments. And the multiply was to go to 0. So if I click plus twice, now I click on the multiply, it's the default state. Now, how is this done? Let's put up the shortcuts, and I'm going to edit them. And I just, I've added a few keyboard shortcuts, but these are this, except for the N and P and numpad 0. These are the shortcuts that are being used in the producer starter kit. So let's start with the SetZoom. So to zoom in, let's edit this. You see here, the first thing we did, of course, was find the key. I pushed the plus button, and then normally you see here it's on function is set is let me first explain you this one. Input is hover. By default, it's on preview or one of your inputs, but we have chosen here hover. So that means when I hover with the mouse over an input, you can decide what needs to happen. And the function we set was SetZoom. And the problem, Ken Benedict, is this one. You see here under value, it states 0 from 0 to 5. So people are putting in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if the correct thing, because yeah, how can you know to zoom in or zoom out? You need an extra thing, and that's plus or minus. So the correct thing to do it is plus equals 1. So every time I push the plus, it's going to zoom by 1 increment. That creates the big increments. So plus equals 1. The same thing for zoom out, but instead of plus equals 1, it's minus equals 1. And I see here that Jens is here and Martin is here. Hi Jens, hi Martin. As told you before, it's going to be a rather quick episode because I have a business meeting at 9 o'clock. So I just want to show you this and then go to do a quick studio tour. And if there is time, just show you what's possible with vMix UTC, which I'm going to demonstrate next week. But I was talking here about the value. So it's plus equals 1 or minus equal 1. But you have seen that that generates rather big increments. Now the trick to use smaller increments, and I'm going to use again here subtract. I'm going to edit this one, and you see here, this is the wrong one. I'm going to start with the add. So instead of plus equals 1, I'm going to say that it's plus equals dot 1. So it's the abbreviation of 0.1. So instead of plus equals 1, it's plus equals dot 1. So, okay. The same for subtract, edit. Instead of minus equals 1, it's minus equals dot 1. And okay. So maybe this is showing you it a little bit better if I put this on off on number. Oops, this is not what I wanted to show you. Let me do this. So the correct, and let me put myself here, that's going to be a lot easier. So the correct thing to use smaller increments is plus equals dot 1 or minus equals dot 1. And you're now going to see, if I take this off again, and I am hovering over my input here again. So I'm hovering here. And if I now use the plus, you see, instead of increments of 1, I have increments of 0.1. And that is the trick. So if I push the multiply, I'm going to show you what's behind the multiply. It's the default state, minus small increments. So this was the trick for Ken. It's the same for the zoom. So let me show you again the things here. So I'm going to click edit again, and here in shortcuts, the only thing I have to show you again is multiply. If I click edit, multiply function SetZoom input, hover again, and the value just 1. And that does a reset to your default state. And the same is for up, down, right, and left. If I, for the ref, to go to pen right, it's SetPanX, again the hover state, and the value is plus equals dot 1. You see here that it says values from -2 to 2. But the correct thing here, if you want to use small increments, is plus equals dot 1. to go to the right. To go up, it is SetPanY. The same thing here, plus equals .1. And for to go down and to go left, it's of course the same, but minus equals .1, minus equals .1. So if I now hover again here over my input and I use the arrow keys, then you're going to see that I can change my input in small increments with the arrow keys. Yeah, so the pen and the pen, I can't, the tilt I can't demonstrate, John, because I don't have a camera that can tilt. Well, I don't think. With the pen and zoom, probably it's going to be the same. But I discovered it well, a bit by accident, how these things are working when I was using the data sources and stuff like that. So instead of just using regular numbers like 1 or 2, it's 0.1, 0.2. If you say, okay, well, the 0.1 is a little bit, it's not going fast enough, instead of 0.1, you can use 0.2 or 0.3. Hi, Elmar, nice to see you. So this was it for the demonstration. Now I have a look at my time. Okay, it's 20. I think the studio tour is, well, I can do it in 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe what I'll try to show you, and I have, because I'm using only one PC, I have to do some trickery. Now here, let me put this off. Okay. I showed you how you can use an X-Keys24. I show you how you can use an APC Mini. Those are hardware devices. There are other solutions, and one of the solutions I've been playing the latest days is the vMix UTC Mini. You can find a lot more information about it on the vMix forum, but probably next week I'm going to demonstrate how it's working. It's not really something for beginners. You can do very simple stuff, but you can do very complex stuff. And it's not going to be that easy to read. Let me just show you the first, and nope, it's not what I want. So what I did is, this is one of the defaults, one of the default titles of vMix, and you see here on the top, here, top left, you see a list widget with speakers. So how it's done, I'm going to show you next week. So I created here like Rudy and on the bottom the name of my show. But I've prepared some, yeah, I have to use it over here. So if I click here, you're going to see that I can change other names and it's immediately updated. So I've chosen Merle, I can do Giles Forum. So you can prepare different names. You can do it immediately in vMix, but here you have a lot more possibilities. So this can be done with this kind of lower thirds. You can populate it automatically. Let me put this one off. Another, what you see here, the other screens, I'm going to put this one up. So, and let's say that Barcelona is going to play against Real Madrid, and I can say here, okay, they start playing, and I can say here, okay, Barcelona just scored. Then I can say here, okay, +1, another one for Messi, so, and another one, so it's real off. And you can even start a timer. So you see here now that there is a timer normally that's starting. You can pause the timer and stuff like that. So you see, these are the simple things, but you can do quite a lot with vMix UTC. You can here. This is a list I imported. I just made a list in a text file, and you can change. Let's say that okay, Barcelona is playing. I found this weird team, Partick Thistle. I think they're somewhere from Scotland. So if they play Barcelona, of course, yeah, they also want to score, and I can say here, oh, okay, they score here, +1, and you see it's immediately reflected here on the scoreboard. So this is just to show you what's possible with this is purely software based. You download it, it's for free. They ask for a donation if you're happy with it. But I've seen some well, some pretty complex things. Guillaume did some great movies about it. It's just what I'm showing you here. It's exactly what Guillaume has been doing with an explanation, but without any audio. It's just showing what's possible. So I'm going to try the next coming days to go through all the movies Guillaume did and see what's possible. If you have any ideas, to see, is that possible with vMix UTC, or is that possible? Just put it in the show notes, or mail it to me, and I see what I can do. So this was it for the official, official part, the things I really wanted to show you. What I want to do now is give you kind of a studio tour before I leave, and to do that, I'm going to try it with vMix Call and with my iPhone, and this is half part of my mobile kit. So I have a second bar where I can put a lamp on it. So I'm going to start vMix Call, and I hope it's still working. It's not that. Okay, so yep, it's working. Let me put this. Let me see that my audio is off. My audio is off. So I'll try to speak as loud as possible. I haven't put up my my mobile set. I'm just going to show you my setup here. What you see here is where I more or less where I live. This is also my bedroom. So, and let me just go a little bit behind. You see here, this is my main laptop, my 17-inch Republic of Gamers. This is where the main production work is done. I have here a wireless keyboard, some notes. The microphone you see here, it's my Shure SM7B, the one I really like most, with a boom arm. And here you see the smaller laptop I bought recently, the 15-inch with the 1050 Ti. And you see I have, let me go a little bit behind, that I have 2 external monitors. So I have one on the left, one on the right. I told before I'm not really happy because I don't look enough into the camera, so I'm going to play with the setup. They are on they're kind on a height here. Then I have here my Allen and Heath mixing board, Z12FX, and you see I'm only using one input for the moment, my microphone. And yeah, the reason is I bought it, I really got a very good price, because before I was using vMix, I was using Skype, and I had one input for every Skype machine. Then you see here my my Apple router, the one I'm only using for my Apple products. A very small switch with some things to block the lights, so very fancy. Here you see my DBX 286S, my best buy. With that equipment I can block most of the external noise. Of course, when there is the cream car or a plane, you're going to see it, you're going to hear it. But this is a very good thing. And on top of that is my headset from DPA that I'm normally using. The latest 3 or 4 weeks I'm not using it. Then here, let me show you this thing. This is a cloud lifter, and the advantage, I needed a cloud lifter for my DBX 286S because my Shure SM7B needs a lot of gain, and I could, with the DBX it was almost perfect, but I had to give too much input. So with the cloud lifter is giving you 20 dB of pure gain, no noise. You see here I come in with XLR in and I go out with XLR out. So this is a very nice piece of equipment. And then I have two things here. I don't know what they're supposed to do. I have here a small thing with 24 buttons. And then there is another thing with a lot more buttons and sliders. This is something I am going to play the next coming weeks. You see here a green cloth. Under the cloth is all the mess I don't want to show you. And then you see here, this is just my big green background. And normally it's lit by 3 lights. The first one, this is my main light that's lit my face on full strength. Normally on 90 degrees here I have my second light, half of power, and my third light is the one you see there, and that one I'm using to light my green screen. So one for the green screen and 2 to lit myself. And besides the mess, let me show you what I'm here. The things I was using. I have an 8M television studio I'm not using anymore, and an Ultramach Pro to bring in audio. This is it more or less for the setup. And then I have here my main camera, a Canon HFG30, I think, yeah, 30, which I'm very happy with. It's I really like this kind of cameras, and I bring it in via a small box. And let me show you that one. So what I'm doing is my camera is HDMI. You see here on the left the HDMI, and I bring it in a Blackmagic Ultra Studio Mini Recorder, and it's going to my laptop via Thunderbolt. You know, I'm not that big of a fan of Blackmagic products, but the Ultra Studio Mini Recorder is really incredible. And this is more or less my setup. And then from time to time, because I don't have anything fancy, is yeah, this is my overhead cam with the Logitech C920. But yeah, this is the way I'm using it right now. I think I showed you everything I wanted to show you. For the rest, there's nothing much to see. Big television there in the corner, and well, some audio stuff and my Laurel and Hardy things, and my bed. But this is where, how much is it? I think it's let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 meters, 7 by 4 meters, and I don't know. Well, it's really a mess, and I apologize, but my dream is to make a studio here. I'm going to lose audio, probably, but you see here that it's not that high, it's maybe 2 meters 20. So here you see this one, and here on top of this is the attic. But you see here, when I go outside, here is a door. Let me open this thing. My dream is to get rid of this door, of this wall, of this ceiling, because next door, and it's really a mess, so apologies, and I'm going to lose the audio. So here next door this is kind of this is the attic with a very high roof, and the stuff what you see here is the roof of where my studio is. So if I can get rid of this wall between the two spots, I really have a nice spot with a high roof, and I can make a decent studio. So this is this is my dream, to make from these two places one big place. The problem is it's going to cost a lot of money. A friend of mine, I'm going to close the door. A friend of mine is professionally doing renovations, and he said, yeah, if you want to do it well and isolate it very well, then it's going to cost you at least 25,000 euro. Yeah, 25,000 euro. I have 2 left of these, so I can't do it myself. I'm going to help probably, but if I can make one room of this, I would have a very nice studio. The thing is that one wall would be a green, maybe this one will stay as a green, and on the other one, my dream is kind of to recreate a pub with a counter, an Irish pub or whatever, or an English pub, and that I use the counter and the chairs as kind of a very convenient place to do some live streaming. But yeah, money. So guys, this was it what I wanted to show you today. As I told you, a rather short episode. I hope, Ken Benedict, that my explanation about the zoom was okay for you, so you can use this this shortcut to improve your shortcuts. Hi Giles, what I'm seeing here is about the roof. Yes, the roof is not parallel with the floor, which should be great for audio. And if you've seen one of the big walls, those are brick walls, and my plan is, the idea is not really to isolate that wall, because I really like the look of the bricks. But first I'm going to make the plans. The plans I can make myself, but then we have to see how much it's going to cost. But you see, it's a real mess, because an attic we put everything we don't need. But I need a container to put everything in it, and it's going to, yeah, but we'll see. That brick wall would be great on the far end. Yes, Kenny, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I really like the natural look of the brick wall. Giles is saying, use the Duke of York as your guide. When I'm sober or in the evening? Oh, Kenny wants to come to Belgium. That would be great. Yeah. By the way, I think it was Kenny who told yesterday that he's building also his own studio. So, yeah, it's nice. The problem I have with I want to live here because I don't like the neighborhood anymore. I'm almost the only one left from I was 6 years old, so I'm 48. Yeah, 48 years we live here now, and it has changed so much. I don't know the people who are living 2 houses further away. So I want to change an house, and the thing is it worth to do the investment? It's going to, okay, if I sell the house, it's going to be a lot more expensive then. But this is something I am not sure if I do the investment here or if I completely leave here, but that's something else to do. But the first thing is that I have to buy my second version of vMix. The first one I won. The second one I'm going to buy. Okay, guys, thank you very much for staying. I hope it was a little bit interesting. Not that much of information from me today. Just the shortcuts and the vMix UTC, and a very quick and dirty studio tour. Let's see if something happens in the chat besides the ice. Yes, the ice creams. I'm not going to talk a lot about ice creams anymore, because after my ice cream of yesterday, I've been contacted by the Railtown police department. Apparently Tommy filed an official complaint, so I can't eat ice cream anymore during a live show. So sorry for that. John is saying that he bought his first copy and won the second one. John, maybe we can swap so we have 2 free ones. Okay. Kenny saying, just leave the key under the doormat when you head out. We will stop overcat you on the project. That's really appreciate this, Kenny. Okay. So it's 20 to 9. Well, let me stay for a few minutes, and in 5 minutes I really have to go. It's about live streaming, but I don't want to give you more information before it's official. But yeah, those people only had 1 slot free between 9 and 10 o'clock. I said, strange hour to have a meeting, but and I need to put my overall and my Walls t-shirt, and so that I'm decent, that I look professional. Well, all jokes aside, it's of course it's nothing you can do live, but what would be maybe great on Streamfest, Giles, is, well, Kenny is doing something with his building his own thing. If he can show the progress of building a studio, that would be maybe a nice thing. I need professionals to do it, as I said earlier. Okay, guys, this is it probably for me today. As told you before, the next coming days I'm going to learn vMix UTC and see what's possible. I'm still playing with data sources and on Countdown completed. By the way, if you haven't seen it already, Tim from vMix has put together a quick explanation about the on Countdown completed, but you can do a lot of things with it. And I think if I can combine it with vMix UTC and my data sources, we can build a 24/7 show without an external. This is an external program, the vMix UTC, but it's working great, and I think it can be a very nice combination to do some automation stuff. What I'm also going to do next week is, as probably also the coming weeks on SOLS, is that I'm going to talk about Streamfest Live. By all means, go to streamfestlive.com. I'm going to put it in the show notes, because Giles, Martin, Tommy, everyone, we are going to work very hard to make it a big success. I'm going to work mainly on the website and preparation for social media, and also planning my trip to the UK. So this is it for me. Sorry to leave you that early. John is going to get a refund, that's a promise. So thanks for being on the show, and I hope to see you next week with an hour show probably, or even longer. See you, thank you, and bye-bye.